Hey, welcome. I'm Lorelei, registered dietitian, nutritionist, and today I wanted to show you how you can make your own hummus at home. So hummus is kind of a staple these days, but I will say that back in college when I first discovered it, I had never even heard of it. And someone told me about it. They called it hummus. No one had ever heard about it. In order to make it, I bought like a boxed package of dry hummus mix.
Are you recording now?
Yes.
Is this like rehearsal or real?
No, I'm actually...
Can I just skip? I was wash my hands.
Sure, you wash your hands. Did you want to help me?
What are you doing?
I'm making hummus.
I thought we had that from like the store.
We're out. We used the rest of it yesterday.
You can make it?
Yes, you can make it. Of course you can make it.
All right. Tell me what's involved.
Chickpeas. Have you ever read the ingredients on a hummus container?
No. Who does that?
I do that.
I know.
Chickpeas, and we're gonna use some lime juice. Usually it has lemon, but we are out of lemon, so we got the lime.
Okay.
Garlic, fresh garlic.
Or as we call it here, anti-vampire juice.
Some of us call it that. It's sometimes a little pungent when you have it raw, but we're gonna blend it in there, so hopefully it will just add a little zing. Olive oil and salt, and then I'm gonna show you the secret ingredient we're gonna use today. Usually hummus has tahini in it. I'm fresh out of tahini, so we're gonna use peanut butter.
We're out of a lot of things.
Yeah, but you gotta sometimes roll with it if you're gonna try to cook at home.
But peanut butter?
Yeah.
Is that like a dessert food?
No. It's gonna add creaminess, it's gonna add a little nuttiness, and it will taste a little different than traditional hummus.
Well, it'll taste very different.
It will taste a little different, but it might
very different, right?
It'll still be good.
Hope so.
It will taste different for people who are used to tahini-based hummus, but that was new to people at one point too.
Like a really long time ago.
Yeah, it's true.
Okay. I don't know if we can call it hummus though.
We can call
if
it
it's using
peanut butter hummus.
How about peanut bummus?
Okay.
All right.
You sure you don't want to help?
Some of us are willing to try new things.
You don't want to open a can for me or chop some garlic for me?
I wouldn't presume to think you're not capable of those things.
Okay.
So good luck.
All right. Okay, so getting on with it. Let's open the chickpeas. So I'm gonna use canned chickpeas today because that's what I have, and it's really a lot easier. You can certainly cook your own, but chickpeas you have to soak overnight and then cook for several hours. And I hesitate to say that it's really even all that much cheaper. So I have some garbanzo beans. We're gonna open up the can. These do have salt in them. So the general advice is to rinse, drain, and get rid of that salt. But hummus has salt in it. So oftener than not, I actually save some of this juice, and instead of adding water and salt, I'll add a little bit of the liquid from the garbanzo beans. Okay, so I've got a strainer. I'm just gonna strain it here, but I actually am gonna strain some of it into a container. The other thing is sometimes canned chickpeas will have other ingredients in there, like little coloring agents or preservatives. So that might be another reason why you would want to drain and rinse and then just go with fresh salt and water to make your hummus. I'm gonna put it into this food processor. And I'm gonna put in the garlic now as well because I want that to get blended pretty small, but I'm gonna start with blending just those ingredients first and then add the other ones because I wanna kind of figure out the consistency as I go. You can use as much garlic as you want. I actually don't tend to use a whole lot when I'm making my own hummus because raw garlic can be kind of strong and bitter. You can also roast your garlic, so you can definitely do like a roasted garlic hummus. Yum. I'm gonna chop them a little bit because I don't wanna end up with huge chunks of garlic, but I'm mostly counting on the food processor to take care of some of that problem. So that's why I'm gonna put the garlic in early so it has plenty of time to get chopped up. All right, pop what's there into the food processor. Cut this lime too, so I've got this ready to go. So I want the chickpeas to get really blended, but there's a point at which there may need to be some liquid in there for them to keep spinning, for them to keep getting blended. You may have to scrape down the sides a few times as well. You want to try to get it as smooth as you can ultimately. I'm I'm gonna go ahead and add some peanut butter now. If you are using peanut butter, and again, if you've got tahini, go ahead and use that. But if peanut butter is all you have around, it's also a little cheaper. But I recommend using one that's a natural peanut butter. This one has dry roasted peanuts and salt. So it doesn't have anything like sugar. It doesn't have any palm oil or any trans fats or anything like that added to it. I'm not big on measuring. I'm gonna kind of do it by feel. So I'll probably start with about 1/4 cup. So I'm probably starting with about 1/4 cup. This might be, I don't know, it's not perfect, but we'll see. If I need to add a little more, I'll add a little more. If I need to add a little less, I won't be able to do that. Put in the peanut butter. And then I'm gonna put in the lime next, because I know that needs to go in there. There will probably be some water I will add also, but I don't know how much liquid I'm gonna wanna add. But I do know that I want this tart sour flavor. I'm gonna do for sure a half one. I might use the whole one, but I think, again, I wanna make sure I'm tasting it along the way so I know, do I need more? And more blending. Scrape it down. Gotta kind of taste along the way. I know sometimes it's easier to just have all the recipe ingredients written out and the precise measurements, just throw it all in and know that it will turn out perfectly. I don't think that life always means we have exactly the right amount of things at the right time. And say you have some extra garlic you want to throw in, but maybe that makes it too thick, so you need to add a little extra water. Or say you've made your own chickpeas and you don't quite know what the texture of those chickpeas is going to do to the texture of your hummus. Not everyone's peanut butter is going to have the exact same consistency. So okay, I'm going to taste it real quick. I'm going to add the other half of lime. I'm going to add a little water, and I'm going to start adding a little bit of the water from the can just because I know it's a little salted. I don't want to over salt it. Save out a little bit. And I'm going to add some olive oil to this as well, but I'm going to actually do this last. There is some discussion that blending olive oil at high speeds can actually cause it to taste a little more bitter. I've never found that in hummus per se, but I do remember a time where I did make something that was blended with fresh olive oil in it, and it tasted very bitter, so I literally couldn't even eat it. So I'm gonna reserve the olive oil sort of for the very last few whirs. That also is gonna affect the consistency, so I want to make that the last thing I put in. I also know people like different consistencies of hummus. So some people like it really kind of thick and almost chunky. Some people like it really smooth and creamy. And I've even seen it in restaurants. It's almost liquidy. So you should make it to your preference. So you can test it along the way. If you like it more salty, if you like it more sour, if you like a little bit nuttier, you can add more of whatever your nut butter is. I'm gonna see how it's doing. It's actually pretty good. I'm gonna add the rest of the lime. I'm always down with a little bit more tang. I don't think it needs more peanut butter, so you saw about how much I added. I'm gonna add a little salt. And then I'm gonna stream a little olive oil in while it's blending, just here at the very end. Add a little creaminess. It is adding fat to it as well. Olive oil is a monounsaturated fat, which really is a very healthy fat to have in your diet, but it is a fat, so it's higher in calories. So you kind of want to, be moderate in your use of olive oil. Peanut butter is also a monounsaturated fat, so we do have some healthy fats in this hummus. And chickpeas are full of fiber, so also a really great source of fiber, something that we need in our diets. All right, looks smooth and creamy. And it tastes delicious. Okay.
Hey.
Perfect timing. You want to taste it?
You first.
Yeah. It's good. It is. It tastes like hummus.
Okay.
You had hummus. Oh my gosh, don't be scared.
It's pretty good.
Okay. Yeah? For reals?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You wouldn't
I
like
think I like the tahini more, but this as an alternative it's good.
Yeah.
It's good. It's a little different, but it's
Mhm.
still good.
Yep.
Still has the feel of hummus, even though it's garbanzomus.
Okay, good.
Yay!
Well,
Good job.
You'll eat it?
Sure.
Okay, lunch tomorrow.
Okay.
Alright. Yay, you wouldn't tell me you liked it if you didn't mean it, would you?
No, I wouldn't.
Okay, yeah.
I like it.
That's why I'm happy.
Okay, good.
Alright. Yum. I am out of tahini, but I have peanut butter. So we're gonna try to make hummus out of peanut butter because I think more people have this. Have you ever tried peanut butter hummus?
No.
Mm.
I think I'm going to be trying peanut butter hummus later.
Judge later.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Okay. He's the hardest to please.
Liar! Untrue! This was not endorsed by Joe. It's not true. It's fib. It's fib. It's Lorelei propaganda.